Please read us a story, old bear. We'll all gather round. Dear old bear, sit in your favorite chair. We'll sit all around, dear old bear.
Bramwell Brown, Duck and Rabbit were standing by the toy shelves sorting through a big pile of boxes. "It's the sort of day," began Bramwell thoughtfully, "to do a jigsaw puzzle, a really big one." He pulled a box down from the shelf. "We haven't done this puzzle for a long time," he said. Rabbit and Duck agreed that it was a good idea, but there were toys and games all over the floor. "There isn't really room to do a puzzle," grumbled Duck. Just then Little Bear arrived. "What are you playing?" he asked, looking at the box in Bramwell's paws. "Can I play too?" "We're not playing," said Duck. "We're going to do a puzzle. A difficult one," he added. "Well, can I help?" asked Little Bear. "If you like," said Bramwell. "But first we must find somewhere clear enough to spread out the pieces." "I know where there's a place," said Little Bear. It didn't take long to find the spot. Bramwell emptied the box onto the floor, and they turned all the pieces the right way up. Then Little Bear sorted out all the bits with a straight edge to go round the outside. "Can I join them up now?" he asked. "No, that's a bit difficult," said Bramwell. "I think we'd better do it." Then, seeing Little Bear's disappointed face, he added, "But you can put in the last piece, if you like." So Little Bear waited, and waited, and waited. At last there was only one piece left. "Your turn," said Bramwell, handing it to Little Bear. Little Bear marched proudly into the middle of the puzzle and dropped the piece into the hole. "Oh no," he cried. "It doesn't fill it up. It's too small." "It must fit," said Rabbit. "It's the last piece." "Unless, of course, there's another last piece," said Duck. Bramwell turned the box upside down. "Not here," he said. "Perhaps someone's sitting on it." Everyone looked, but it was nowhere to be found. "Now I can't put in the last piece," moaned Little Bear, "and I really wanted to be the one to finish the puzzle." Just then, Duck tripped over a lump in the carpet. "I bet this is it," he said, prodding the lump. With Bramwell's help, they pushed the rug into a tunnel shape. Then Rabbit burrowed through the tunnel, right along past the lump and out the other end. "Did you get it?" asked Little Bear. "It wasn't the puzzle piece," said Rabbit breathlessly. "It was this," and he held up a little key. "Oh no," cried Little Bear, "that's no good." "Actually," said Bramwell, "that might be just what we need. It's the key to the special box. All the lost things go into the special box, so our puzzle piece might be there. Come on, everyone, this way." Very soon, all the toys were crowded round the box. Bramwell turned the key in the lock and slowly lifted the lid. Little Bear clapped his paws with excitement. "This is like finding treasure," he squeaked. Inside were all sorts of odd things. Watches that didn't work, scissors that wouldn't cut, a shiny stone, a seashell, keys, combs, and kite string, but no puzzle piece. Suddenly, Little Bear reached into the box and pulled out a little shiny tube. "What's this?" he asked. "A rolling pin?" "No, I know," said Bramwell. "It's Sailor's telescope." Little Bear held it to his eye. "You do look small, Rabbit," he said. "Not as small as you," said Rabbit. "Actually, you're holding it the wrong way round," said Duck. "If you look in the other end, it will make things look bigger. Have a look around the room and see if you can see the puzzle piece." Little Bear scrambled up to the top of the box and looked all around. Suddenly, he got very excited. "I can see it!" he shouted. "Over there!" Still holding the telescope to his eye, he pointed across the room. "The flowers look huge through this," he said excitedly. The others rushed to where he was pointing and stopped. "Where is it now?" asked Bramwell. "You're right by it," said Little Bear. "But I can only see the sofa," said Bramwell. Little Bear lowered the telescope, slid down the box, and quickly joined the others. "That must be what I was looking at," he said, staring at the sofa. "It's got flowers on it, just like the puzzle piece." "Well, now we're here, we might as well search the sofa," said Rabbit. "Things sometimes get lost under the cushions." They climbed up onto the sofa and began to look. Little Bear lifted a corner of a cushion and dropped it very quickly. "Help!" he shouted. "There's a snake under there. I bet it's eaten our piece of puzzle." Bramwell lifted up the cushion, and there, coiled up, was a long string of buttons and beads. "It's not a real snake, Little Bear," he said. "But I saw it move," said Little Bear, hiding his eyes. "Beads can't move on their own," said Duck. But as he spoke, the snaky thing slithered out from under the cushion. "Quick, watch where it goes," said Rabbit. "It's probably got a heap of lost puzzle pieces in its nest." The very long snake slithered across the cushion, over the arm, and down beside the sofa, where Old Bear was sitting with the button box, threading the last bead on the nose of his snake. "Oh, it's you, Old Bear," said Little Bear. "We thought your snake was real." "I didn't," said Duck. "I just wondered who'd made it." "I was sorting out the button box," said Old Bear, "and I thought it would be fun to thread all the buttons and beads on one string, to see how many we had. Would you like to help me count them?" "We would later," said Bramwell, "but we're looking for a puzzle piece at the moment. I don't suppose you found it in the button box." Old Bear looked. "There's nothing left in here except these 2 buttons. They don't have any holes, so I couldn't thread them." Little Bear stared at the 2 strange buttons in Old Bear's paw. "I've seen those somewhere before," he said thoughtfully. "I know. They're not buttons. They are the doll's house plates." "So they are," said Bramwell. "We'd better take them back to the dolls right away." Leaving Old Bear to finish his snake, the toys carried the plates to the doll's house and knocked on the door. The dolls came to open it and were very pleased when they saw the plates. "How wonderful," said Mrs. Doll. "We thought they were lost. Now we will be able to give everyone biscuits with their tea. Would you like some?" "Oh, yes, please," said Little Bear. "We're very hungry. We've been looking for our missing puzzle piece. Have you seen it?" The dolls shook their heads. "I'm afraid we haven't," said Mrs. Doll, and she went indoors to make the tea. Bramwell and the others sat down outside the house, and the dolls soon came out, carrying a tray of drinks and tiny plates of food. "Thank you," said Bramwell. "That's just what we needed." But Little Bear was staring at Mrs. Doll's tray. "And I think," he said, "that you have something else we need. Where did you find your tray?" Mrs. Doll unloaded the last of the plates of food and held up the tray to admire it. "It's lovely, isn't it?" she said. "There was a whole box of them, all different shapes and sizes. I like the flowers on this one." "So do we," squeaked Little Bear. "It's our missing puzzle piece." "Is it really?" said Mrs. Doll. She handed Little Bear the tray, and he ran across to the puzzle and then carefully slipped it into the hole. It fitted perfectly. "Well done, Little Bear," cried Bramwell Brown, and everyone clapped and cheered. When they'd all had time to admire the puzzle, Bramwell said they should put the pieces back in the box. While the toys had great fun breaking up the puzzle, Little Bear held tightly onto the last piece and looked at it thoughtfully. Then he jumped up, ran back to the doll's house, and presented it to Mrs. Doll. "Why don't you borrow the puzzle piece tray?" he said. "After all, it's no use to anyone just sitting in the box." "That's a very kind thought, Little Bear," said Bramwell, coming over to join them. "And next time we do our puzzle, we'll know exactly where to look."